Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nations Organization's main fan page, where I do this daily live stream all around the divination card that was drawn in the morning. So welcome. Today is Friday, yay, Friday, April 26th. And I'm broadcasting from Star Nations Academy here in Tomah, Wisconsin, where we have a very it's blue skies and sunshine, but it's really windy, really, really windy. And you can kind of feel the little coldness from the north in it. Yeah. So I don't know what that means, but it is a little bit cooler than what it actually looks like. So I'm happy today. It's Friday and it's sunny. What better day could be happening like that, right? Yeah, before we get going with the cards, I'm going to like and share the broadcast. And I would invite you to do the same. Let's see, we got to go to Facebook first. Oops, wrong page. There we go. And then looking for our live stream. There we are. So I am going to like it and I'm going to share it over to my newsfeed. Just so my friends all know that I'm live streaming. And then asking them to please join. There we go. And we'll post it. You know what? I'm going to put an emoticon on it. I haven't done that in a while. Let's see. I thought I had a green heart. Oh, well, we'll use a red one. There we go. There. That's pretty simple. I do this so often that I have quick keys, and it makes things so much faster, easier too. There we go. Let's see who's in the chat. Who is coming to join us? Rochelle's here. Hello, Rochelle. Good to see you in the chat. So glad you're back. You had a really busy week with appointments and such. Good to see you in the chat. And Julie's here too. Julie Shumway Hill. Good to see you, lady. And Rochelle says, shared and grounded. Yay, me too. Me too, shared and grounded. Well, then get with it, Rob. Get with it. Yeah, get on the grounded bus tour, right? Now that didn't sound right. We'll think of something cute and catchy with that. Oh my goodness. So I have a question for you guys, not based on the cards at all, not right now anyway. How many people have springtime allergies? Springtime allergies. Well, I certainly do. Hello, Marie. Good. Happy Friday to you too. Happy Friday to you too. And it is a happy Friday too. Rob says, I'm grounded and shared. I'm just not here. Oh, okay. Shh. Rob who? We never saw him. We never saw Rob. No, he said he wasn't here, so he's not here. So springtime allergies. Springtime allergies. I don't know how I missed it this year, honestly. All the symptoms, because usually I'm on top of it, right? But this year, thinking back the last couple of days, I'm thinking, yeah, I should have known. I should have known itchy eyes and, kind of itchy throat and that kind of thing. And at first I thought maybe I was coming down with something. So I treated it like a cold, right? And, my camera light went out. That's why it seems a little bit darker. That's weird. Maybe I'll come back on. Anyway, and then yesterday, right smack dab in the middle of this live stream, I could feel the full blown allergy hit. Yeah. And I should have known. I even had kind of a little bit of a headache yesterday. Wasn't much of one. It was just, just kind of pesky and, not much to really even do anything about. I noticed it, but it's like, oh, it'll go away. I thought maybe I was lack of caffeine. So anyway, yeah, I ended up taking a Zyrtec. I threw in the towel and took a Zyrtec. And so today I feel so much better. I'm a little tired from the Zyrtec, but not much. And so I was just wondering, for those out there in the audience, how many people have springtime allergies? Yeah. Rosha's, I'm allergic to snow. I know. It's been a long winter, hasn't it? I was talking to Minnie Kansman earlier this morning, and she was telling me that parts of Michigan are expecting snow tomorrow. Yeah. And she goes, well, wait a minute. I said, oh man, not snow for you guys. She goes, what do you mean? She goes, it's going right across the middle part of Wisconsin. I said, really? Because I was so busy yesterday. I didn't look at the weather at all. Didn't look at it this morning. And so I didn't know. And so we I don't know. We might get snow. We might not. I can tell you one thing. There's a little bit of a bite in the air, a little bit cold, snappy in the air today. So maybe either that or the temperatures are going to drop a lot. One of the two. Because we were hitting 60s there yesterday and the day before. Yeah, so it was really nice. Beautiful. Yesterday it was raining, wasn't it? That's why it kind of confused me about my allergies, because usually the rain kind of brings the pollen down and you're comfortable for like that day and the next day. And so it kind of, it's like, wow. But then I looked back in the last couple of days and I thought, oh, I had some symptoms and I just kind of blew right past them, right? Yeah. Rob says the forecast is going back and forth for Sunday. Really? Hey. Yeah. Let's hope it's just, showers or maybe even a thunderstorm. That's okay. That's all right. But no snow and no tornadoes or anything like that. Did you guys catch the Mystery School last night? The live stream show that I do with Carl and Orchard Franklin. There's a lot of golden nuggets coming out of that conversation last night. I'm actually going to take some time this weekend to listen to the replay or the recorded version of it. Because Carl said a couple of things in there, and so did Orchard, that was very, it's like I had an aha moment there with Orchard when she was talking about when as you're falling asleep or as you're waking up in the morning is to do a meditation or to say a prayer, right? Or to call. I know she said to call your spiritual family to you and to ask them questions and to ask them for protection and that sort of thing. So twice a day, right? And as she's describing it, I thought, oh my goodness, that's why we were taught as children to have bedtime prayers, right? How cool is that? Oh, I was expecting water. I forgot I put tea in there. And Julie is saying, last map I saw 1 to 3 up in our area and 3 to 6 lower near Madison. Oh, okay. So I wonder, that might mean we might not get anything up here if you guys are getting 1 to 3. Sorry, but that makes me smile. I don't mind just the flurries or anything like that, but I'd rather not shovel if I don't have to. Yeah, we did plenty of that, right? The days on end, we did that this past winter. Pat says, I need to watch the replay of this show or Orchard and the Mystery School. Because I'm going to watch the replay, the recorded from the show last night. Like I said, there were so many things that were shared and little golden nuggets in there. There was one piece that Carl talked about. Orchard asked him to explain he wanted to explain about who our spiritual team is, who could be on our spiritual family is what he calls it. And so he explained it from an angelic point of view. And it was very, very interesting, very, very interesting. And yeah, it was good stuff. The other thing that came out in that show was is that we're changing the title of the show. We're going to be stepping out of old energy because they've been doing that show. Well, they've been doing the Mystery School Hour. That was Orchard's name of her original show. And Carl had Ascension in the Spiritual Realm. And then we blended the two under the Mystery School. And now we're going to be moving into what we're calling living between two worlds. I think that's the name of it. No, living in two worlds. Living in two worlds. And so that opens a whole lot of stuff up to talk about. And so we're going to be starting that next month in their May show. So yeah, it's going to be good. Fun. Rob is saying the forecast now says sunny for the thumb, but the temps will drop to around freezing. Oh, well, good for you. Yeah, at night. Yeah, okay. And Pat is saying, Mystery School, I only saw the last few minutes. Love their energy. I know, me too. The information that they bring in their blend is really, really not just helpful, but it's so interesting because Orchun, her perspective is, of course, on the ancient knowledge coming out of Egypt, but it is also more about application. So taking that information and how do we use it in modern day? That is her part of it. And Carl's gift is more planetary stuff, right? It's a much wider perspective of spiritual information. And so with the two of them, it's like, wow, they can really bring in very valuable information, I think. So, I get to produce their show for them. Thank you, Stephanie, for doing the posts. Thank you. Yeah, she's saying, see, this is the one. Announcing the new live stream show, Living in Two Worlds, a monthly Star Nations. Yep, that's us. Living in two worlds. It's going to be fun. Oh, yeah. And she's listing the classes. Excellent. Excellente. Thank you so much. We do have a little bit of a change, but I think I'll tell Stephanie about that offline. Yeah, there we go. After the show. All right. So the cards that came today, very interesting cards in their combination. And the first card that came, and I have to say, this is the favorite one on the deck. And it's the drum card. I don't know what's going on with my lighting today. That's not funny. Trying to get it to focus, and there's something not right with my camera light. Okay, so the drum card is all about rhythm and internal timing. We haven't had this card yet this month. And so in the drum in the back part with the drumstick leaning up against it, that's a two-headed drum. And the taller one in front of it is known as a Tajos style drum. So we have a drum that comes from the southwest, and the double head can either be from the west, like the Lakota, Dakota, Nakota, or even east of the Mississippi. We use a lot of double-headed drums here too. Okay. Yeah, and Jamie Sams, when she writes about the drum, there was one sentence in here that kind of jumped out at me. She talks about how tribal people from all over the planet still rely upon the drum to connect the energy of each person participating in a ceremony or a ritual. And in so doing, there is a collective energy present that can be used for healing, prayer, gratitude, requests, information, or even journeying. The drum can be used as a map or a blueprint for those seeking altered states of consciousness or parallel universes. The drum will connect the heart of the person doing the journey to the heart of Earth Mother and provide a safe way to return to the body. She goes on to say that the possibility of reaching other realities and getting lost or losing touch with sanity is highly improbable when the drum is used as a guide. And it was that part of that last sentence, when the drum is used as a guide. And we can probably relate to that, is that if you've ever been anywhere and you hear a drum, you're so curious, you want to know, where is that coming from? And so you'll kind of walk around and look for it, right? At least I do. And I know that I have a special relationship with the drum, and that could be the reason why. But there's a fascination with the drum because it touches that ancient part of us. Yeah, just a little bit, Rob. I like drums just a little bit. It touches an ancient part of us. It's something that is in our memories, right? And so why are we so connected to the drum? Because the heartbeat is the very first sound that we hear as babies in our mother's wombs. Is we hear our human mother's heartbeat. We also, I don't know, it's possible, I suppose, for us to even hear our own heartbeat, right, in utero. I would think that would be possible. But it also connects us to the earth, to the heartbeat of grandmother Earth. And yeah, and it also connects us to the heartbeat of the universe, because the universe also has its own beat. Yeah. So think about that. Okay? We have the universe with its unique beat, right? Which is connected to the heartbeat of grandmother Earth, which is connected to us through our own mother's heartbeat and us as the baby or the fetus, right? And so it's this expansion that happens in relation to feeling that beat throughout our entire existence. It's that touches that ancient part of us that we recognize. Yeah. All right. Jamie Sam's poem about the drum. The drum. She says, drum that marks the heartbeat of our earth, our Mother Earth, constantly reminding us who gave us birth. The rhythm of connection, pulse of flame and fire, the perfect reflection of our heart's desire. It's kind of cool. I like it. I like her poetry. And Jamie goes on to say that the drum is audibly heard and internally felt by us two-leggeds. So we hear the heartbeat, but we also feel it. We feel it. She says the sense of belonging to the earth and being of earth in a natural way has enabled medicine people to see other worlds with ease. Many seers or dreamers who hold a stone person to maintain the earth connection while dreaming or journeying. I'm sorry, journeying. So there's that connection between earth and the drum, right? Yeah. She says all life has rhythm, whether in the physical or spiritual world. The drum allows us to access the patterns of life force inside and outside of ourselves so that we may come to the understanding that all exists simultaneously. Yeah. The simultaneous unified beat is the heartbeat of our Mother Earth. When we cross the border into parallel universes, we find the unified heartbeat is that of the great mystery. If we have ever experienced those rhythms, we may then share them through the drum to show others the rhythms of all creation. I kind of like that a lot. All right, so here's the application. I wish my light would go on. I don't understand. I might have to get a new camera. No. All right, so if the talking drum has spoken to you, you're being asked to find your own internal timing. You may be pushing too hard or missing a beat. In any case, being out of sync calls for a realignment with the body's needs. Rhythm is a personal thing. To honor your own rhythm is to come back into harmony with the self. From this point, personal comfort allows you to harmonize with that other rhythms of life. The drum also speaks of allowing yourself to be supported by Mother Earth's heartbeat. To slow down and rediscover the heartbeat of your true mother, then the synchronicities of your movements will be effortless. In all cases, rhythm is the key. Become aware of all rhythms and see how yours fits in. If it's right, you become the music, and the dance you are dancing becomes a celebration of life. So it's about internal rhythms, I think, today. That was the feeling I had reading the information, is that our personal internal timing and this is, I think, the second card that we've talked about this week about our internal timing, right? One was the hour of power, that hour of day, that hour where we really feel really, really good. It's a natural rhythm that everyone has. And this one is saying that that our internal timing is connected to the heartbeat of Grandmother Earth. And that we have the opportunity or the ability to be able to sense or feel her heartbeat so that it can help us to get settled, to be in sync with her. And when we're in sync with her, we're grounded. That's what we do every day when we do our grounding. Does that make sense? It puts another layer of understanding of that question we started asking, or I started asking way back in December. Who's grounded today? Who's done their grounding, right? Yeah. That internal timing. And we can feel off, right? When we're just not quite in sync. Part of the day that's what it was like for me yesterday because of the allergy situation. And that happened soon after the show, because I remember watching Maureen Mann's show, and I could certainly feel it that I was off. I was off in my rhythm. Yeah. So I took a Zyrtec. I threw in the towel and said, I'm not fighting with this. I'm not struggling with it. I want it to be taken care of. So Rob is saying, in a jazz or rock band, the drummer is the center, with the bass right behind, connecting the rhythm to the harmony. Yeah. Drummers, I tell you what, watching them with their drum kits is amazing to watch them, and how they keep the rhythm, they keep the beat for the entire band, right? And they have to be able to keep that constant beat, right? And that's why they practice with a metronome when they first start, is so that you have that sense of that heartbeat, that beat that is going to keep the whole band together on the same page, right? Yeah. Actually, one of my nieces, her husband has been in a band for a really long time. He's a drummer, and so to see, and they drum. The songs that they do are a lot of cover songs. They're a cover band, but the covers that they do are from like the 70s and the 80s, sometimes even earlier 60s. Yeah, and they're all in their 30s practically, I think. So you're right, Dreb. Andrea says, speaking of drums, I have a quick question, if that's okay. I was given an 11-inch drum, and the rawhide seems really dry. Should I condition it with something or leave it alone? Thanks. Okay. It's a good question. Good question, Andrea. It depends. It depends on what kind of hide it is. Do you know what kind of hide it is? If it's like goat or even cow, you can go ahead and use it's a special emollient that you use on it. That's the best kind to use is when the base is a sheep tallow. Yeah. Yeah. I never put a softener on the hides the drums that I have. When they're deer, elk, or buffalo, I don't use that, but I do use it on my Borons, because with them that the hide is goat and it's much thinner, right? And needs that softening. Yeah, it does change the voice of the drum. That's why I won't do the natural drum set with the deer and the elk or the buffalo, because putting on the lotion is going to change the voice of the drum. Okay. The other thing that we do is that when because they're organic, right, and they shift and change with the moisture in the air, right? And so during the times like in the winter time here, sometimes the air in the house gets really dry. Not as dry as when we have wood heat, but even with forced air, the air does get dry. And so what you can do is just take a little bit of water and sprinkle it onto the drum head and just kind of rub it in, and that will loosen up the hide just a bit. Okay. Yeah. Good question though, Andrea. Don't get that very often. Rob is saying the bass player locked his keys in the car. The drummer was locked in for hours. Oh, you're too funny. Or Bobby is saying, hi, y'all. Weirdly off and lofty all day. Yes. Actually, today would be a really good day to go out and fly a kite, literally, because the wind is pretty blustery. And yeah, I think you get a lot of action out of a kite today. Andrea saying, no, I don't, but I think it's cow. Yeah. Well, if it is, then yeah, then you can use the lotion, and don't use just any lotion. That wouldn't be good. You do have to use an emollient that is, its base is, a sheep. The sheep tallow is the best for a drum. Um, I think it's because of the creaminess of it, you know. Yeah. And Julie's saying, I have my grandmother's metronome. I love listening to its tick tick tick. See, now all you need is a drum. All you need is a boron, and you're a quarter of the way there, Julie. You're welcome, Andrea. You're very welcome. All right, so today's card is about our internal timing. And the best way to be able to sense or feel your internal timing, right, is that you have to sit quietly for a little bit. Quietly in a little bit. Yeah. And that's just to calm the mind, right? And that's just to kind of stop brushing around, because we all do it. We all do that. Stop brushing around and just kind of sense or feel your own heartbeat, right? You know, in meditation, they say to turn your awareness to your breath, right? And with this, it's literally sensing your own heartbeat, hearing it. Another one, we used to do this as kids, right? Because you can cover your ears and you can hear the whooshing sound. But you have to be real still and quiet to do that. Yeah. So that's the beginning of it, is just to get connected with your own heartbeat, is to feel it, sense it, hear it. And then what you can do, you don't need a drum for this. You could go outside and sit and just listen, feeling, sensing grandmother Earth's heartbeat. Yeah, you could do that. It might take a little while, but it can happen. It can happen. It's just enough to slow you down too. Just enough. So that was the first card, right? Drum internal timing. Yeah. Rhythm. Bobby's saying we love to drum. We have over a dozen, and when the grandkids are here, they really go at it. I bet they do. I bet they have fun too. All right, so the second card that came is Arrow. And we've had Arrow, this is the third or fourth time this week. Arrow. And Arrow is all about truth as protection. Truth as protection. Truth as protection. You know, remember, this is a Jamie Sams. She's saying, remember that the arrow's path is straight and narrow, and that its target is the heart. At the heart of every warrior is the compassion of the chief and the legacy of leadership for the good of all people. All races of Earth Mother depend on the rainbow warriors of the world to reform the warrior brotherhood in order to accomplish the fulfillment of the fifth world of peace. For this to occur, we must use the teaching of the arrow, that is, using total truth as our weapons and our protection. Total truth. So here's the question. If you are not in sync with your internal timing, do you feel that you can be totally honest? completely honest. If you're not in sync with your internal timing, when you're just a little bit off, you're offbeat. Do you think that you can be totally honest? See, to me, that would mean that we're not grounded. We're not really consciously connected to Grandmother Earth. That's what that means to me. We can never lose our connection to her, right? We can't ever lose our connection to her, but we can block out or ignore her heartbeat. So in the application of the arrow card, it says, if the arrow has found its target in your cards today, you're being asked to find the truth of your present situation. You can protect yourself from uncomfortable situations by using the truth as protection. It does not matter what others think of you. You know the truth. When you honor that truth, you cannot be hurt by the lies of others. And to remember that arrow is straight and always says, stay on the sacred path. Stay on the sacred path. And so when we're ungrounded, we're not balanced, we're out of sync. Sometimes it's hard just to even stay focused when you're like that. Rob is saying when there's a drumming session and everyone is drumming, I'm the guy that either does triplets or upbeats. That's good. It's because isn't your people Irish or are they Scottish, Rob? Probably English, right? So you know about the triplets and upbeats. From being a musician, but it's kind of in your blood, as they say. And Bobby's saying that's a tough one, especially when I'm doing a card reading. Yeah. And so, that's why that's just another good reason to be grounded. It's another good reason to ground in the morning and at night, right? I mean, to be able to be honest with others, but more importantly, to be honest with yourself, right? And also to be able to discern that honesty coming from someone else, right? How you can, as my mother would say, you can read somebody's body language and know whether or not they're telling the truth. Yeah. And what she's really talking about is sensing the energy coming from that other person, that other being, and how truthful they are in whatever the conversation's about. All right, so when you put these two together, the drum and the arrow, right? The internal timing and truth as protection. So when your internal timing is spot on and you're grounded to Grandmother Earth, you're connected to your mind, remembering your connection in a very, very conscious way, that it becomes difficult to be dishonest. You may have a little bit of a challenge with the expression even of a truth if you're not grounded, if your internal timing is off, right? Yeah. So it really is very important for us to be able to, it's something that we can actually do something about. We can actually do our grounding, Yeah, my suggestion though is that to do your grounding about an hour or 30 minutes before you go to sleep, before you go up to bed. so that, because you could be so tired. You could be so tired. As soon as you're in bed and your head hits the pillow, you're out. And then you forget, oh, I was going to do my grounding. I forgot. I was so tired. Right? So if you can remember to do your grounding an hour or so before bed, that way you're going into dream time in sync, and in your internal timing is good. As you can discern for the truth, and you could also be the truth, right? Yeah. Hey, Mark's here. It says vibration is language of all entities' frequency. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Have you ever heard Robbie Robertson used it actually in one of his songs? I think it's called Twisted Hair. I think. Anyway, and how the sound of a cricket, right, is sped up to the heart rate of a human, and how it sounds like a choir, right? And so if that's only one of our relatives in sync, entrained, right, with Grandmother Earth, what would it sound like if we all were and we could hear that vibration, right? It would be like, this huge choir singing. Yeah. I don't know. I think I shared that recording some time ago. I'll see if I can find it again and post it for you guys so you can hear it. Yeah, when I said it was Twisted Hair, I don't think it is, because Twisted Hair, we can actually get the recording on YouTube. The song that I'm referring to, when I tried to share the video coming from YouTube, it wouldn't share. And so I think what they did is they removed it. So, yeah. So I'll see if I can find that recording again. Yeah, and Bobby's saying, I've heard that cricket song. It's amazing. It really is. It really is. Oh, somebody's car alarm's going off. You don't hear that very often in my neighborhood. It's probably one of the kids playing. And make sure it's not my car. Mine's in the garage. That's all right. All right, and so the third card that came today, yes, we got 3. It's a power place, right? Power place. And it's about empowerment, our connection to the earth, connection to Grandmother Earth, and how empowering that is. Yeah, it's a really pretty picture too. Yeah. Our earth connection, power place. And in this particular card, Jamie Sams was writing about how there's sacred sites, right? Sacred sites, and how grandmother's energy converges and in ley lines, right? It's like her meridians, and where they cross or intersect becomes a place of power. And ancient people, what they did was they held ceremonies in those places because of that additional power, that additional medicine. And many times you'll find those holy wells at or near those places of power. And so as time moved forward, and you had one government trying to conquer land of another, and the churches were involved, and they built the churches over those holy wells so that they could control who came and went from those power places, right? But a power place you can have anywhere, because all over Grandmother Earth is sacred, right? And so if you wanted to create your own sacred site, your own power place, what you can do is hold a ceremony and call in the spirit of the land, those land guardians, right? You can create your own sacred space. But I do believe that in the cards today, that our sacred site, our power place is within ourselves. Because when we're in sync with our internal timing, is in sync with Grandmother Earth, we're grounded, we're centered, right? We have the opportunity, the ability at that time to speak our truth, to speak from our hearts. And when we do that, when we have the opportunity and we take that opportunity to do that, it's very empowering that we actually become that place of power. So do me a favor, just take a big, deep breath in. At the top of the breath, just hold it just for a second. And on the exhale, is really looking at these cards, sensing them, feeling them, and what the energy of the cards, the essence, the spirit, the medicine of them is relaying to you in that silent language, right? That light language. That silent language of the heart. You know, we've had some pretty powerful cards this week. We really have. And I think today's cards has that power as well, but it feels much more well, that's a good word. The word feminine comes to mind, but it's not the gender feminine. It's the energy of feminine, that yin energy. There's a subtle power to it, right? And I would imagine not many two-leggeds would consider themselves a place of power, in that we're grounded to Grandmother Earth. We're in sync with her. And when we are in that manner, that we have the ability to be able to speak our truth from our hearts, right? And then that becomes a place of power. You become a place of power. Yeah. It feels good. And Mark is saying, space travel use frequency energy would match the destination. Think of map, universe frequency, quantum map, not seed of light to A and B. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that frequency. And Mark, it's that frequency that we use in shamanic work too. It's that vibration. It's that frequency. Many times we think it's because we stated our intention, which is all helpful. It really is. But it's more about the frequency or the vibration of the place that we're going to. Yeah. Andrea is saying, what an amazing combination of the cards. I know. When after I read all three cards information, I was sitting there with the cards and I was thinking, oh, we're the power place. When it's another way of being able to describe where it's important to be grounded and to be centered. think about this, is that many of us, awakened beings, us two-leggeds, who have spent a good deal of time identifying those traumas that need healing in ourselves, and we've done our healing work, and we've released what we needed to release. And so every time we do that, we have more and more access to our gifts and more understanding, full clarity with our intuition. And then when you add on top of that, being grounded and balanced, yes, take it in. That's how we become a very powerful place. Yeah, a very powerful place. And Bobby's saying, went hiking up at the waterfalls up in Minnesota, and I was drawn to many vortex twisted trees and had to just hang there for an extra recharge. Mother Nature so provides when we need it most. Yes, yes, yes. And there's natural vortexes all over, Grandmother. They're just not in Sedona. In fact, here in the upper Midwest, along the, let's see, it'd be Wisconsin, Minnesota, northeastern Iowa, and northwestern Illinois. It's called the driftless region. And in the driftless region, the last 3 ice ages, the glaciers did not go through here. And so many of the places have been untouched, other than being built up by man, of course. But there are many natural sites here along hiking trails and that sort of thing, where you can sense the natural vortexes. And it's, some people say that it's actually very similar to the Four Corners area because of the energy that flows through here, through the driftless region. Yeah. It's there's some places, I don't know if you'd call it pristine, but it's very close to that because there's no construction, there's no building. It's pure wilderness area, and and to be able to go hiking there is really, really phenomenal. Now watch, we'll have a whole influx of people coming to the driftless region. Oh my gosh. And Mark is saying, what is golden energy? To me, or for me, I should say, Mark, that is creator energy to me. That's when I'm leading a grounding, is that I have that creator energy flowing down through us, down through each one of our chakras, down into the earth. And for me, the first time I ever did that meditation, I saw golden sparkly light, right? Yeah. And so, as vibrations go, and Rob, you might be able to help with this if you're still listening, is what is the rating, vibrational rating on gold? Silver and gold, I know gold is higher than silver. I don't remember the numbers though. And so for me, it is the creator energy, right? Yeah, creator energy. I hope that answered your question, Mark. And he says, know of Skinwalker Ranch seen remote viewing. Okay, you need to give me a little bit more, Mark, because it doesn't quite make sense to me. I know what a skinwalker is. I know what a ranch is. And seen remote viewing. So did you see the person doing remote viewing, or were you a remote viewer viewing remote viewing? That sounds a little convoluted, but yeah. All right. Had telepathic being, pure gold being. Oh, okay. Yeah. And it's very highly conductive too. So, of certain energy, I should say. Yeah. I feel really good about this, about these cards today. I really do. I think it's a good culmination of all the cards that we've had all week long and bringing us to this point, right, of when we're consciously living our lives and we consciously do our grounding. And when it makes us feel good, that means that we're in sync. We're in sync with Grandmother Earth. We are in sync with our own internal rhythms, our internal timing, that we can discern truth. We can speak truthfully with courage from our hearts. And now we put that layer on top, and that is when we are aware of that, consciously aware. Oh man, I hope you can still hear me. Let's see if this will work. Rats. All right, I have to refresh my screen. I don't know what happened. But notice, I think my lighting's a little bit better too. I don't know. Might be the connection. As I was saying, that last layer about being a place of power. Yeah, I think that's a really strong message for us, I think. Okay, Mark says on YouTube channeling. Oh, okay. So is this your YouTube, Mark? Psychic LJ? Or are you sharing where we can see the Skinwalker Ranch in remote viewing and the pure gold bean? Roberta says, all good. I know it is. It's really good. So in the last couple minutes, I wanted to share something with you guys. First of all, let's finish this piece up. So anything and everything that resonated with you from this discussion, from this conversation, is my suggestion is to embrace it and see, watch, sense, feel how the energy of the day is unfolding around you, and where this information is helpful, right? Whether it's directly or if you're bearing witness to something or to someone else who has that ability to use the information. So, and if it didn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's all right. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings by saying, I didn't get that one. That's all right. And so, I need to, okay. Thank you, Mark, for clarifying that. I appreciate it. Okay, so here's a little bit of a change that's coming up with this particular live stream, show, is that starting in May, because I wanted to make it a full year where we were doing daily live streams, and we're almost there. All right, so starting in May, I am going to be doing the live stream Sunday through Thursday. All right. So I'm taking off Friday and Saturday, basically. I'm hoping to fit some family stuff in, but there is also this, is that the publishing end of Star Nations is really needs to turn up the heat a bit. The flame underneath it, we need a little bit more energy underneath it because we just published a brand new children's book with Madonna De Paulo, The Sound Weavers. We just did that last week, and Monday was the official launch. But we also have Orchard's books coming up in September. We also have Polly Joe's book coming out this year. And also, I think we're going to do her card deck, but I'm not sure how close she is to getting ready for that. So we have several publishing things other than the magazine. That's including the magazine. And so what I need to do is free up a couple of days to be able to focus some of my energy on the publishing end. Yeah. And we still have the Academy, and we still have, of course, the other live stream shows. Okay. So starting in May, we're going to go down to 5 days, Sunday through Thursday. Yeah. All right. But you'll see all the promotions with the new day length of the week. Same time though. Same time. So we're just going to free up some of my time to help with the publishing piece. Okay. Help. I'm kind of leading the charge on it, so I guess I'm helping a lot of people. You're welcome, Andrea. You're very welcome. So expect that in May, okay? Yeah. And so I don't have the show's information for you for next week. I'll have that ready for you tomorrow, so you know what's coming up in the different live stream shows this coming week. So, yeah. Roberta saying, oh, by the way, if you didn't get my text, I did try the PayPal link for the book, and the link appears. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, we can get that fixed. That's easy enough to do. Thanks for letting me know, though, okay? And we'll get that fixed this afternoon. Let's see. I had several people come through with that. That must have just happened today then. I'll take a look into it. We can certainly get that fixed, okay? Thank you, Bobby, for letting me know. All right, and with that, enjoy the rest of your Friday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern for the daily live stream and group card draw. Bama Mina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. Love you guys.